Phil Spencer signals Xbox One hardware upgrades. Okay? During his Xbox Spring Showcase event keynote, Microsoft's head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, talked about future of hardware innovation for the console, similar to the ways PCs evolve. Okay? So in a speech to reporters, he said that the Xbox One could see a future in which it is upgraded rather than replaced by new consoles. Spencer was talking about how Microsoft was sought to align its Windows 10 and Xbox One development activities under the internal Universal Windows platform, while offering backwards compatibility for many Xbox 360 games now playable on Xbox One.
All right, let's talk about this a little bit before we move on to the rest of that happen. I think this is an excellent idea.
Me too.
I think making a console future-proof is amazing.
Me too. By the way, all this that I'm referencing is from a Polygon article, and a lot of it's taken from snippets of his interview, and then I'm going to read the last bit of his interview, because I think what he says is amazing, because people were literally shitting down his throat about this. So,
no, I just wanted to, real quick, I'll just finish up then. I think that it's a great idea. I think interchangeable parts is a great idea, being able to change the RAM and the graphics card, and even being able to take out the disk drive if you want to. All these different things that you can... People bitch like, oh, I wish the Xbox One did this or didn't have this or it was better like this. I understand that people that own an Xbox One now will be a little pissed off like, oh, well, you're making a new Xbox that can do all this. Mine can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is a great opportunity for people that don't have an Xbox One. If they make an Xbox One that has interchangeable parts, this is a perfect way. Like, this would make me want to buy one. However, I do want to say, they also spoke about how they're porting a lot of their Xbox One games to PC now.
right. Which I'm going to get into.
Okay. Well, I'll wait then.
Okay.
You do that.
Yeah. A lot of this is all going to tie into both of our opinions are.
Okay.
So, he was addressing the concerns of some Xbox One owners that the exclusives destined for that console are appearing on PC, thus eroding the value of owning a console. He argued that consoles could and should be upgradable like PCs, and that the model of generation shifts may be coming to an end. Quote, we see on other platforms, whether it be on mobile or PC, that you get a continuous innovation that you rarely see on console, end quote. Well, continuing, he says, consoles lock the hardware and the software platforms together at the beginning of the generation. Then you ride the generation out for 7 or so years while other ecosystems are getting better, faster, and stronger. And then you wait for the next big step function. When you look at the console space, I believe we will see more hardware innovation in the console space than we've ever seen before. You'll actually see us come out with new hardware capability during a generation, allowing the same games to run backward and forward compatible because we have a universal Windows application running on top of the universal Windows platform that allows us to focus more and more on hardware innovation without invalidating the games that run on that platform, end quote.
All right, listen, this sounds perfect. There's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah. So far, I don't see where anyone's complaining.
I don't understand.
Spencer said that Xbox One owners could be offered optional hardware upgrades in the future that allows the consoles to keep up with the emerging and competing technologies. Such a move would suggest an end for new console launches. He said we can effectively feel a little bit more like we see on PC, where I can still go back and run my old Doom and Quake games that I used to play years ago, but I can still see the best 4K games come out and my library is always with me. Hardware innovation continues while the software innovation is able to take advantage, and I don't have to jump a generation and lose everything that I played before.
Listen, they're doing everything right. Xbox is doing everything right now because they know they did wrong. And here's the thing. Phil Spencer came in at a really, really shitty time, and he's doing the best of what he can.
He was like, oh, hey, look at this steaming pile of shit left by Don fucking Kotrick, dude. And he was like, you know what, I'm going to shovel it up, I'm going to fucking plant some roses and some daisies, and here you go.
Listen, he's doing a great job. I love this guy. He's amazing. And this idea is great because they know that if they tried to launch another console in 7 years after this loss, it'd be tough for them to, it'd be tough for them.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. Here's the root of this problem. Number one, the fact that he even has to address it is fucking stupid, okay? Mm-hmm. Listen, it totally makes sense. Why would you be opposed, right, to spending less money to get a better console? Instead of having to go out and shill another $400 or $500 for a console, you can shill maybe $50 to $200 for a part to upgrade it for a few years.
Well, yeah, but how about the fact that there's even more than that. You can play your old games and you don't have to lose any of your games. Like, listen, backwards compatibility is a big deal to a lot of people. Yeah. They want to play their games they spend so much money on. Right. I have a pile of PS3 games here that I want to play on my PS4, but I can't. And I'm like, well, do I want to play these on my PS3? And I'm like, do I feel like turning it on? Do I feel like booting up my PS3? Do I feel like plugging it in, making sure everything's working, updates? You know what I mean? I want convenient like I want it to be more convenient, and I feel like Xbox is doing that. They
You
have
want
the
a
backwards,
cohesive ecosystem.
yeah, they have a backwards compatibility system that they built now for Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One. You can play you can play the games on Windows now too, which is a good and a bad thing. Now that I'm getting a Windows PC, and I can play a lot of the Xbox One games on that. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing. It allows for more variability in the market. Like, listen, the problem is that Xbox people and console people are getting pissed off that their games are going onto PC and that they're afraid that they're going to have to upgrade their console and they're not getting a new console or whatever. And PC people are upset because, oh, you have the fucking console space coming into our fucking master race space and your fucking peasantry better not touch me. Who the fuck gives a shit, dude?
It's the future.
Are you serious? Like, why can't you just coexist happily? Like, seriously. And I feel like as PlayStation people, we're kind of, well, we have our own problems within, but we're over here within our own world, and I'm happy. Like, I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One, and I have a PC. I don't care if something comes out on Xbox One or PC, and we've said this before. Like, why the fuck is it a big deal?
Like, I wanted to play Sunset Overdrive so bad, but I can't. I'm not gonna cry about it, you know?
Yeah. Like, I see the argument with people about saying that the Windows Store is fucking fucked up, which it is, and that needs an overhaul. It seriously needs an overhaul, because that's putting a lot of restrictions on the PC space. But I don't understand this argument. This is the exact best thing for Microsoft to do, and it allows them to do it because of the Windows ecosystem that he's talking about, and expanding that to the Xbox too, because that's what I'm guarantee you that's what's giving you the backwards compatibility. That's absolutely why it's easier now, because they have essentially a OS from a PC running on that. It's just a PC now, essentially.
Yeah, and they have like an emulator running.
Exactly.
Or not, yeah.
So then,
real quick, are you going to get into Phil Spencer on Twitter or no?
I think it might be in here.
Because I would like to say something. I'm just going to say it.
Go ahead, yeah.
Phil Spencer, I want to just literally suck him off because he's literally the coolest guy. And I wish we had a guy like him on PlayStation. I mean, we have Shuhei Yoshida, but like, Phil is this god. I don't know. It's hard to explain. And someone tweeted, like, what games are you looking forward to most this year? And he said, I'm looking forward to Quantum Break, and I'm looking forward to, a couple Xbox One exclusives. And he goes, and I'm looking forward to Uncharted 4 as well. And someone commented or tweeted him back, and they said, well, but just wave the white flag already, Phil. It's over. Even you're admitting it's over. And he's like, how? Because I'm hoping that a game franchise that I love does well. And he basically said, fanboys are stupid, console war is stupid. And if a company makes a good game, why shouldn't you praise them for it, regardless of who you are, who you work for? Saying Naughty Dog makes a quality product. And we're Sony, as you can see by this PlayStation Vita here, we're Sony advocators. We love the PlayStation line. I mean, I used to be an Xbox 360 gamer myself, but I moved over. And it's just, there is no fanboys. And to us, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's so cancerous to have number one console wars going on and then PC and console wars, and can't we just seriously we're all obviously we like video games for a reason.
Yeah.
Just stop fucking complaining and just play games.
And
just have fun.
And Phil sees it that way, which is amazing. I think that's really cool.
You have to appreciate your competition, or you don't even need to see them as competition. He's a gamer. He likes that game franchise. He wants to play it. Who the fuck cares? So what if he works for Xbox?
He's a rich man with a lot of money. I'm sure he has a PlayStation 4 and a Wii U. So
it's like the same thing. If you work for a fucking restaurant, doesn't mean that you're not going to ever go. You're not going to ever not go to another restaurant.
Yeah, like you work at McDonald's. Are you going to go to Burger King? No,
you're going to fucking give me a stroke.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and move on.
Anyway. So, Polygon interviewed him, and that's where I'm getting a lot of this stuff. But I just want to read this, and it's not super lengthy, but it's a little bit. But just bear with me, okay? Because this is beautiful. I want all of these words framed on my wall, right next to that fucking quote by Guillermo del Toro. I'll do whatever the fuck he wants. This is going right next to it. It's quite longer, though. He says, quote, "We look at these other ecosystems out there like mobile, tablet, and PC, and we see that they have a very continuous evolution cycle in hardware, whereas between console generations, most of the evolution is making it cheaper and potentially making it smaller. Both are meaningful, but don't make the games play any better. If you look at PC specifically and see the evolution that happens there's no reason why consoles can't ride that same curve.
Very true.
I look at the ecosystem that a console sits in, and I think that it should have the capability of more iteration on hardware capability. Sony is doing this with VR, and adding VR capabilities mid-cycle to the PlayStation 4, and they are doing that by adding another box. I don't mean that as a negative, but it's not changing what the core console is about. For consoles in general, it's more important now than it's ever been because you have so many of these other platforms that are around. It used to be that when you bought your console, you were way ahead of the price performance curve by so much relative to a PC. But now PCs are inexpensive and your phones are getting more and more capable. I still think that a console is the best price to performance deal that is out there, but when you look at the evolution, I'm not going to announce our roadmap for hardware, but what I wanted to say on stage for people when they see this vision of ours and question our commitment to console, I want to make sure that people see that what we are doing enables us to be more committed to what consoles are about. This is a fucking run on there, Phil. What consoles are about than we've ever been, and innovate more consistently than we ever have. That's the key for me.
Key to success.
That's the DJ Khaled key to success right there. Innovation. So I don't see any problem with this. Bless you, Phil. Keep on doing what you're doing.
I agree. That's that. I don't have anything else to say. I think that's it.
Yeah.
We wrapped it up pretty well.
I'm telling you right now, if you're on the opposite side of that fence where you're mad about any of this, well, you're not a human being.